And welcome back, everybody. It's another Friday night, and we are almost to 2024. I'm kind of excited about this new year. So, uh, I foresee some really good things happening this coming year. Couldn't tell you what they are. Just a feeling. You know how you get a feeling a year's going to be a good year. 2023, I really didn't have any uh, thoughts about whatsoever. It was just another year. 2022 ended, 2023 started, didn't really have any thoughts about it. But 2024, I think, is going to be a really good year. So uh, I'm kind of excited that 2023 is going to be behind us, and we'll see how it goes. Uh, Let me change cameras here if I can figure out how to do that. I don't have any idea where my mouse is. So I think it's this one. Yes. No, it's not. No, by golly, it's this one. Okay. uh, so my cameras are not on a rotating thing, like Peter's. So um, I have to manually do it, and they're sitting pretty close together. So sometimes it's hard to tell if you're on camera A or camera B or camera C or whatever. So, but it's I think I've got it fixed in the switcher to where the first camera is the first position and the second camera is over there and the third camera is up there, and y'all know the drill. So what do you guys have planned for 2024? It's I am probably going to be moving, which I'm kind of excited about. It's kind of, I hate moving. I know. Let me rephrase that. I love moving. I hate packing and moving my stuff. I love moving myself, but I hate packing and all that good stuff. Jeff's here. Let's see if this is working. Yes. Not long. Tomorrow is our New Year's Eve, tomorrow night in Australia, followed by you guys in the US. Yes. Ours is, I believe, Sunday night is New Year's Eve. I will be at work, so it's really a non-thing. Um, but there are a lot of people that love to celebrate, and I like to see the fireworks, and so I'm probably gonna let my team go outside for a little bit. um, See if we can see any fireworks. Take some of that, what do you call it, non-alcoholic sparkling grape juice or whatever, and let them toast in the new year. And so I've never worked on New Year's Eve before, so this will be a new thing for me as well. But yeah, so I've got I think there'll be, I don't know, 5 or 6 people with me. So I just, it's gonna be a small group. So I figured I would just take maybe some hors d'oeuvres and some sparkling, non-alcoholic bubbly, as it was. And Jeff says we are planning to go to bed and wake up to a new year. That's usually what I do, Jeff. Yeah. Um, I have been out amongst the masses at midnight, and yeah, not really a fan. Of course, I don't like a lot of crowds. So, um, New Year's Eve for me is kind of a stay-at-home holiday. But if I can work and get paid for it, yeah, I'd rather do that. Yeah. Sammy's here. Hi, Sly. What a night. Um, yeah, Sammy, I'm glad you were there to catch it because I have been running way behind. So, as you can see, I'm still at my house. Um, kind of didn't know where I was going to be tonight. So, but it turned out that I was able to make it home in time. So, it's all good. And there's Scott. How you doing, Scott? I was thinking of you the other day, and I had a question for you, and now I cannot for the life of me think what it was. Oh, yes, I can. How are you liking your Alpine bag? That's what it was. Because I've been looking at I believe it's the 190, uh, which is front opening. I don't think I have a front opening bag. Isn't that weird? I have all these bags. I started to say millions of bags. Not millions, but I have a lot of bags. And I believe they're all rear opening. Um, I don't know why I would need a front opening bag, but just something to be different, right? So let me know how you're liking your. I think it's the Alpine bag. I think. And Sammy says, "Hope everything is going well." It is. The heat situation has not been corrected, and we have been in the 20s at night. So it's a little chilly in here. Yeah. So if you see icicles starting to form, you'll know why. Which is why I did not know where I was going to be. So I've got the room pretty much as warm as I can, but I can't run the heater and all the lights and everything at the same time. So tried that 2 or 3 days ago and kept popping a breaker. So if it gets too chilly, I'll just have to sign off. I thought might be at my son's house tonight, but so far we're good. He's gonna come down tomorrow, and we're gonna see what we can do about closing some things off. And I'd like to stay here as long as I possibly can. Both my children live about 40 miles from work, so yeah, there's that. Anyway, Craig is saying Happy New Year, Sly. Happy New Year, Craig. Glad to have you. And Sammy's saying Happy New Year. Yeah, you will be celebrating an hour before I do, right? Malachi. Hi, Sly. I believe you're new. And if you're not, I apologize, but I think you're new. So, welcome. Let us know. Are you into cameras? Are we'd love to hear from you. This is kind of a family setting. So, everybody here on Friday night is just kind of like friends that get together, and welcome. Love having you. Sammy says, hopefully you had a great Christmas. I did. It was very busy. So a friend needed a ride to the airport very early Christmas morning, and I thought, ooh, well, I can just sneak that in before everybody wakes up, and then pop over, and I should get there, before everybody gets up. Get all the way over there, and they have already left. They took an Uber and didn't let me know. So that was kind of a wasted trip. But it's all good. So that's how I started my Christmas morning. So after we did presents and ate breakfast and all that good stuff, I went and took a nap. So I slept through most of Christmas Day. Peter says, hi, Sly. So sorry I went over time. Not a problem, bud. Not a problem at all. And Everyday Things, you're new. Hi. Welcome. Let us know your name. Everybody here is welcome. Part of one big family, like I was saying. And I do try to get to know everybody. So, Everyday Things. I don't think you want me to call you Everyday Things every time. I don't know. Just let me know if you want me to call you by your name. I will really try to remember, Not the best with names, but I have a little reference chart. So, yeah. But welcome. How was everyone's Christmas? I think, Jeff, that a lot of people got a lot of things they wanted for Christmas, which is really cool. It's really, really hard uh, as we get older to buy things because if we want something, we just go out and get it. So it makes us very hard to shop for. And uh, okay, how about we don't do that? Um, no texting during live streaming. And Scott says, I like my Alpine Slinger 200 backpack very, very much. Good. Good quality. I should get one to review. Yes? Because that's what I'm thinking. Just says, hello, Peter. Sorry I was not able to stay. How was your Christmas? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've talked to Peter this week. So I don't know how his Christmas went. I talked to him a couple of days before, but I didn't talk to him the day of. Gregory, hi Sly, coming over from Peter's live stream. I think I remember you from when Peter did where he put like 9 or 10 people up there. Are you the same Gregory that was up that night? Because if you are, that's fantastic. Then I have a face to go with a name. So that's cool. And Sammy's saying, congrats on 500. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. That went over about this, I don't know what time it was this morning. I had Little Man with me for the past 2 days. And he thought I was crazy. Because I was like, 100. I was kind of making and he actually knows what a subscriber is. And he will, he's 4 years old. And he'll say, be sure to like and subscribe. So it's really cute. Craig says, Sly, is that a small wood stove behind you? Makes your room look cozy. So that is an electric, one of those electric fireplace heater things that it's enough to warm the room, but you can't run it while you've got all the lights and everything running. It'll blow the breaker. So I turned it off minutes before I went live. Did I remember to turn everything on? Yep. Okay. So the room is still, it's probably 60 in here. So it's not cold. But in an hour it will be. So there's that. And as soon as I get off, I will turn it back on after I can turn the lights off. So, but it makes it very interesting to try to film, record something. Yeah. So, yeah. Sammy says, I just noticed that Peter is singing in the background. Yes, he is. So this should be the last night for it because, Christmas is... And I don't know if you noticed, but my hoodie is a candy cane. So I'm still in the Christmas mode. I did take 3 down because it's kind of going to be my last opportunity. But, yeah, I'm still in the Christmas mode. Royce says, I'm glad that I survived Christmas. I love Christmas. So for me, the more chaotic the gift opening is, kind of the better. But I have some people that I open gifts with that do not like the chaos. And it's kind of a controlled chaos. It's not like, it's not off the charts or anything like that. But I have some people that I open gifts with that would prefer it to be more orderly so that you can see what everybody gets and hear their comments. And yeah, with a 4-year-old, are you kidding? He had a stack that was as tall as I am when I'm sitting down. And he just kept piling it higher and higher and higher until it finally toppled. And then he tried to restack it. It was hilarious. I think uh, a couple of years ago, he got a slide and he enjoyed the box just as much as he did the slide. So, Sammy says 503 now. Yeah, so I don't know if it's the algorithm. I don't know what it is, but I have noticed that YouTube does it in like clumps. So they'll hold you. They held me at like 497 for 2 or 3 days, and then boom, it went up to like 502 or something. So yeah, I don't really know how they do that. Peter saying hi to Jeff. Roy says everyone else has forgotten the like button. Yes, what are we at here? Oh yeah, smash that like thumbs up button. It tells YouTube that, hey, somebody was here, right? Yes, you can call me Greg. Awesome. Well, welcome, Greg. I'm so glad you're here. That was because when I see you come into Peter's, I thought you were somebody else this whole time. And so it was very nice to put a face. I really enjoyed when he did that because it was very, very nice to put a face with everybody's name and kind of get to interact with people kind of live. Like there's like a 20-second delay, so I can't say it's really live, but it's within 20 seconds, so that's pretty live. Jeff says, I never wanted much. I just wanted Santa to bring me only one full pallet of gold bullion. I think I was on his naughty list. Actually, Jeff, I don't think you were on his naughty list, but from what I understand, those reindeer are miniatures. So they might have a little bit of trouble pulling a pallet of gold bullion because, as I understand it, quite a few people ask for that. So, yeah, the poor little reindeer just couldn't do it. Roy says, sounds expensive to run that heater. You know, it really isn't. I really thought we put in a gas wall heater thing down the hall. And I really, that thing has been on nonstop for, I know, all of this week. I know it has not shut off once this week. And I was really surprised that my gas bill was not higher than it was. So even though it's on all the time, it's, I guess, pretty efficient. Now, it doesn't keep it real warm because of other various and sundry reasons, but if you stand right in front of it, it's quite nice, quite toasty. It's like a fire. Scott says, I dealt with no heat all January earlier this year. It wasn't a good situation here in Michigan. Spent the month in one room with an electric heater. So yes, that is where I'm at, Scott. And if you put this entire room, save one outlet, is on one circuit. Who does that? You're not supposed to do that. When you wire a house, you're not supposed to do that. But anyway, it should be at least on two because they don't expect you to use every outlet in the room. They're called convenience outlets. But there's one outlet, and I've got the computer plugged in. And as you guys know, your computer takes about 1 million cords to get the monitors and the computer and everything else running. So all that stuff is on that one, and it's actually labeled in the breaker box, computer. This is a very old house. So yes, January and February are our coldest months. So we will see. If it stays like this, I should be fine. If it gets much colder, not so much, maybe. Jeff says, I love putting boxes in boxes And when you get to the end, it's only a small present. Christmas Day needs to be fun. Yes, it does. I didn't quite go to that extent. My little trick is tape. Yes, I use tape to the excess, and it drives everybody crazy when they try to open it and they can't get in it. And I don't tape little man's up so well, but for the bigger kids, oh yeah, it's all about the tape. Sammy says, I've been liking your uploaded content. Well, thank you, Sammy. That means a lot to me because you actually know what you're doing, and I'm just winging it. So I am kind of, I don't want to say I'm running out of ideas, but kind of. You know, there's a couple of slings I have my eye on, and one or two more backpacks. But so these manufacturers need to come out with something new. I'm just saying, I need some new. Sammy says, I got a big Pelican case for Christmas. Do you like Pelican cases? So the knockoff of the Pelican is the Apache. And I have a bunch. Yes. I think I have three different sizes. I have like a little bitty one that I bought thinking it would be good for the action camera. And then I have three medium-sized ones. And then I have a great big, don't ask me why I bought it, case. Because there's no way I would, the great big one, there's no way I would ever carry that. But they're so deep that I made 2 layers. And so what I did, I don't know if I can show you that or not. I took if you want to see it, I'll dig it out. But I took the foam is actually 2 pieces of foam because that thing is it's like really deep. And so I took a welcome mat, like a doormat that are made out of rubber, and I cut it to fit, and that's my bottom, excuse me, my bottom for the top section, so that when you pull out the foam, everything doesn't just fall apart. And so, but having said that, they are, for me, they're very kind of clunky because they are so big and so hard. But the Apache is the knockoff of the Pelican. And my thought process kinda was that I could take them on the kayak with me. And yeah, that's not gonna happen because they're just too big. Now the little bitty one, that one I might. I have not yet. But that was where the whole, it needs to be waterproof type thing. That's where I was going with that whole thing. So, Sammy, is this you again? Sammy film. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know if that's a second channel. So, what are you gonna put your cinema stuff in the Pelican case, Sammy? Because that would probably be perfect for that. Scott says, I wonder where Simon, Randall, Luis, and Charles were earlier tonight. Were they missing? Charles is a man about town, so he's kind of hit and miss. Randy is normally sleeping on Friday nights, so he may wake up and come in. Simon, I don't know. I think somebody said I don't know if his time is the same as Peter's, but I know he goes to bed like when normal people do, so he may have gone to bed early. Jeff says, it's funny hearing how cold it is in the States. We had a 108 degrees yesterday. Wow. That's like, wow. Yeah. I don't, I think it's about 20 degrees warmer in where Peter is. And if you get further south, I don't think it's quite as cold in South Texas, but it's definitely, we've had, what do they call it? Arctic air move in. I should be too far from the Arctic. By the time it gets to me, it should dissipate, and I should be getting that warm Gulf air, right? I'm closer to the Gulf than I am the Arctic. So, I mean, come on. What is up with that? I'm not a weatherman, but it just seems logistically like I should be getting more Gulf air and less Arctic air. But yeah, so it just is. Sammy, I think I'm saying that right. I just started a YouTube channel and I don't know what to do to get views. Content. Just keep putting out content. That's, yeah, because guys, I have been actually doing this for almost 3 years. So, not the live streaming, but actually putting up videos. And be consistent. The YouTube algorithm loves consistency. So, that would be my 2 words of advice, is be consistent and just keep putting out content. So, what is your channel going to be about? Because you got a whole lot of people here interested. Scott says, I have so many of those Apache cases in 2 sizes, right? And they are clunky. Yes, they are. So I much, much, much prefer a backpack. I don't even like the, I have a Canon sling, and then I have several camera sling bags, and they sit out too far. So for me, if I carry a camera bag, it's a backpack. It just works better for me. There's Lewis. How you doing, bud? Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Love you so much. We actually watched your video with your grandmother where y'all are dancing around her singing Feliz Navidad and on Christmas Day. And my kids loved it. Yeah. So my mother was wheelchair bound right at the very, very end of her life. And so it brought back a lot of happy memories. Because she loved to sing, and she couldn't carry a tune in a basket, but she didn't care. When you get to be that old, you don't care. And it's almost freeing the inhibitions you get when when you have attained that age. So, Merry Christmas to you too, sir, and Happy New Year. And thank you for putting that out, because it made a lot of people smile. And Sammy says, no, that's not me. Okay. Well, then we have another Sammy, so welcome. The only account I have is Sammy Superstar and my Superstar Studios. But that's my legal business name, so nobody could take that. Okay, yeah, I get that. Greg says, I am a stone throw from Peter. We are going to get a blast of cooler weather this weekend. Man, I feel for you guys because, especially in Miami where you guys have nice weather like year round, when you get a blast of cold weather, it's kind of expected here in Oklahoma. Now, the weather we've been having this past week and next week is really more January weather. Decembers are not typically this cold. So it's what do they say, going to get worse before it gets better? And that's okay. But when you guys that aren't used to getting this colder air, yeah, I think if it got down in the 30s and 40s, Peter might hibernate. Well, we don't know, Sam. It could be okay. If he is starting a new channel, it would look like that. So, and I have noticed that YouTube goes through and culls. I will get a lot of, well, not a lot, but I'll get a few subscribers that have 0 subscribers themselves, and YouTube will go through. It takes them 2 or 3 days, and they'll cull them out, and so I'll drop back down, and then I come back up, and then I'll drop back down, and so it's all good. Peter says the thermometer, if I learned to speak English, on the patio says 59 degrees, so it feels quite cool for me. Yeah, my okay, you ready for this? My bedroom this morning was 42 degrees, so it's a little bit chilly. Didn't seem to bother the little man at all. He was nice and toasty, and he snuggled up with me all night long and kept me warm, so I will miss him tonight. He's like a built-in heater. And I kept asking him, I kept feeling like exposed skin to see if he was, cold or warm enough, and that boy was toasty. Jeff says, yep, both the air conditioners were on from 10 a.m. Ugh. It was way too hot to go outside. The heat was just unbelievably hot. Wow. If you could just send some of that this way, that would be great. But yeah, it's believably cold here. And so we're going to do some work on the house tomorrow, and we may put a second heater in. So Shane, how you doing, bud? Hi, everyone. You had a video out I was supposed to watch, and now I don't remember which one it was. So I don't know if it had... I can't remember now what we were talking about. I was talking to Peter, and he said you had put a video out on that, and now I cannot remember for the life of me. It's what do they call it, that old age thing? Roy says, weather is off here too. Very cold, 70 degrees today. Wow. Well, 70 is not cold here. 70 would be very, very welcome. Yeah. But I can already feel the hoodie is starting to get cold. This house is not the best insulated, right? Sometimes I think 2-story houses, because the heat rises. So it's probably somewhat toasty on the ceiling. Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, I had the M6 Mark II running on Christmas Day, and I had the Osmo 4. So I'd get a couple of different angles and be sure and get everybody. And the Osmo 4 overheated and shut itself off. So now we were at my daughter's, who has heat, so it was probably, I guess she probably had it turned about 70. It was not cold. We were all sitting around in t-shirts and flannel pants, but shocked me. I've never had one of my originals overheat, and those have been left on for hours in hot weather outside in the sun, and it's never been a problem. So I was very, very much surprised that it did that. Jeff says, you can send it this way, Peter. Summer in Brisbane is here. Yeah, it's, and I'm not complaining, because this is just, it's the weather, and what are you going to do? Doesn't do any good to complain about it, so why bother? But for people like Scott, who are in Michigan, oh my goodness. I can't even imagine Scott being up there without heat. So not moving after all. It's not off the table. We're going to see if we can fix a few things kind of inexpensively around here. If not, then yes. It just kind of depends on if it's... I don't want to be a burden on either of my children. And I did kind of go apartment hunting today. I haven't lived in an apartment in 40 years. So with housing the way it is right now, by the time you find a house, it's already got a contract on it. So it's kind of stupid crazy how housing is right now. So, and then if the ones that do stay on the market, you wouldn't want to live in. So I looked at apartments today, and I don't know if I can go back to an apartment. Like I said, I haven't lived in an apartment for 40 years, so yeah, it's definitely different. You really get the feel that you have neighbors like on the other side of that wall, right? So no, it's not off the table, but uh, we are going to try a few other things first. Shane's left says that's okay. There's so much content in December. It's important to remember. Uh, it's important to remember or find anything. Yeah, um, Peter won't remind me. He's got a mind like a steel trap. That man. So and I don't know if it was about a microphone or if it was maybe it was. There is a YOLO box that you did maybe. I think it was that. See, it's kind of coming back to me a little bit. Jeff says, how about we swap? You throw some cold my way and you can have the heat. I don't mind the cold. Yeah, if they would just figure out how to put like a huge fan, I will blow all this cold air your way. You are more than welcome to it. And you can send some warm air my way. Just says, hey Roy, how's the heat down your way? If he's only at 70 degrees Fahrenheit, that is not heat, right? That is a nice t-shirt wearing day. That's a gorgeous day. I would even, 70 might be a bit chilly for kayaking, but because I always end up in the water. Yeah. Roy, is it cold down your way? So I think he said it was 70. So no, that's not cold. Roy says, funny weather this week. Thunderstorms and heavy rain. It's like being in the top end, but colder. Yeah. So, and it didn't rain today. Should have had my camera out. But it has rained, I think, every day for a month. No sunshine. Just it. From what I understand, it's like England. It's just foggy and gray and yeah. Shane says, oh yeah, that thing is great. Yellow Box Ultra multi-camera 4K live streaming tablet. It's very cool. Okay. I'll have to check into that. Because I don't know if you saw my live stream that I did in St. Louis. I was on the road with my little grandson, and I got it down to next to nothing. A computer and a microphone, and that's all I had. And I think I had a couple of lights, which I didn't even need because the camera auto adjusts, so I didn't even need it. So that was cool. But yeah, talk about streamline. Once I figured out I could do that, I was like, I'm getting this because this is awesome. Jess says, I'm with you, Sly. Even though our home is large, I cannot see me in a small unit. Yeah, it's just, I've got about 2,100 square feet here. So, yeah, I don't know. To go to less than 900, I mean, I don't use a fraction of this house. I use 2 rooms, and occasionally I'll wander into the kitchen to get something to eat. And that's pretty much it. I'm either always in the office or I'm sleeping. So the living room, the den, the formal dining room, I see them long enough to vacuum them like once a month, because I'm never in there. Roy says Adelaide had 130 degree Fahrenheit last week. Wow, 130. You could probably cook an egg on the sidewalk. Somebody did an ad one time about that. So, but guys, I hate to cut it short on you tonight, but it is getting chilly in here. My hoodie, it's this that tech stuff, and I can feel it getting like really kind of chilly. So I am going to have to put the heat back on, which means I got to turn the lights off. So lights, cameras, pretty much all the electricity except for the heater. So, and the overhead light is on a different circuit. So, yeah, so I'm probably going to have to cut it a little short tonight. But just says South Australia, it's hot, but it's a dry heat. We had a small tornado on the Gold Coast. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is Tornado Alley, so we get a lot of tornadoes. No hurricanes, but a lot of tornadoes. But I love each one of you, and I will see you next week. If it stays cold here, I will go somewhere where it's warmer. But Happy New Year. I hope everybody stays safe, number one, healthy, and everybody has a prosperous new year. I love all you guys, and I'll see you next week.